All right, here we go. Coaches on the couch. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to episode 2 for Coaches on the Couch. You got Coach Summers and Coach Kanne here, although that seems way too formal. So we're just going to go with Brent and Sydney from here on out, and that's how you can know us. We're going to come here with a recap of our Whitman Whitworth meets from last weekend and look forward to Bruin this weekend. To recap our meets, I'm going to pass it off to Sydney.
Hi. Whitworth and Whitman are really good teams. We are very excited to see them at conference. With that said, our scores of the meets weren't really a good representation of how our team swam. Everybody, if not maybe a few off, but pretty much almost everybody was either right on their season bests or even had season bests, which is great, especially this time after just a long period of training, really getting into it, having a meet last weekend, traveling. It's not an easy trip out to Eastern Washington, and so to be able to show up and swim hard is super awesome. And I think it sets us up really well for Bruin Invite, which I'll pass back to Brent.
Yeah, really quick though. I think you just glazed over it, right? But the long trip out, right? It's about 7 hours up to Spokane from down here in Salem. We did that on Thursday, right? But then we kind of sat around all day Friday. And then after the meet ends Friday at 8:30, we jump on a bus, drive another 3 hours south down to Walla Walla, and then we wake up early to swim again, right? And a lot of us did that on like less than 6 hours of sleep just from when we got in to when breakfast was. And I think that's something we should note too, right? We should talk about when we're swimming season best times in non-ideal conditions. Like that's really good. Distance, I was impressed with our distance group to be able to do the mile, the 5, and I know Ethan and Sarah did the 4 IM, and then come back and do the 1,000 and the 5 on day 2. That's a lot of swimming in less than 16 hours, I think, for them, right?
Yeah, and to improve from the day before.
Right, and so I think that's a really good thing. Our sprinters, we talked about this a little bit last week, missing a little bit of that pop and a little bit of that gear change, but I think that'll come together as we talk about Bruin in just a second. But so yeah, like again, the scores I don't think are really indicative of how our meet performance was. Those are both, especially Whitworth, very, very good teams. And so yeah, like Sydney said, don't look at the scores too often. All right, looking ahead to Bruin. So this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we go to our mid-season invite up in Newburgh, Oregon for the Bruin Invitational, a meet that we have historically done really well at. Our women won last year. They've won the meet, I think, 4 times and finished second the other times. Our men have won once or twice, and they finished really well otherwise. It'll be a small meet, which is okay with me. It'll be us, Pacific Lutheran, obviously George Fox is the host, and Pacific University. We've seen 2 of those 3 already, right? Pacific Lutheran and George Fox, and I think, Sydney, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it'll be a really good meet on both sides, even though, like we've talked about a lot with our men, we don't maybe have the numbers to compete well in dual meets, but I think in an invite setting, our men can actually score a lot of points with their talent. Our women, this is a chance to show off our depth finally, where instead of only being able to put 3 up in an individual event, maybe we can put 5 to 6 into that top 16 range. So I think that'll be exciting. Yeah, like I said, mid-season invite, we will drop a little bit. We'll take Thursday morning off of weights. Thursday itself will probably be a normal day, and then Friday we'll have a really hard crash down to pretty much just meet warm-up and some chords. And then, yeah, we compete Saturday morning at prelims at 10 o'clock. It will be live stream, so make sure you look out for that on the Northwest Conference website, or you can go to George Fox or even our athletic websites to find the link. Saturday prelims are at 5? Finals, sorry, that's what I meant. Yep, 5. And then Sunday, same thing, 10 o'clock and a 4 p.m. start time so that we can get out. After that, we're going to go on Thanksgiving break. So next Monday's Coaches on the Couch will probably just be me, unless I ask Sydney to zoom in from home. But it'll probably just be me recapping Bruin Invite, and then we'll go on break for a week. We'll come back. We'll have about 2 weeks left of the fall semester. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll talk about that next week after we recap Bruin. So anyway, this has been episode 2. Hopefully it's a little better. Since this is going on YouTube, and I've always wanted to say this, and I can actually say this now and mean it, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that little bell notification for when these videos go live. Otherwise, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Bye.